Glasses. Welcome everyone to the All Effing Wrestling Show. What do we got on the show today, JFB?
We got some main event news. We got some jokes, and then our main event. Someone made the list.
All this and more on the All Effing Wrestling Show.
Hit the intro.
Coming to you live from the effing worldwide media studios located in parts unknown.
It's the All Effing Wrestling Show.
With your hosts, Canada Dry, and the JFB.
Tell me how it's priced. Tell me if the item is for sale. And tell me.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the All Effin' Wrestling Show. I am the daredevil of AFW, of Effin' Wrestling. I'm the man with no fear, the JFB, James from Boston.
And I am, of course, the gingered up bubbly son of a bitch. I'm the patron saint of professional wrestling, and I got a list. I'm Kevin the Dry, damn it.
List. We are joined by our co-host, our guest host. He is the host of the Magic of Wrestling. Say hello, dear sir.
I'm one half of the co-host, I'm just going to say. But yes, of course, I am the magician Liam Wakeland, and you can find me every Friday night on Wrestling with the Paranormal, and of course, every Saturday with the Magic of Wrestling, and the occasional Sunday on the All Effing Wrestling Show.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Now,
So-
some people have been pissing me off this week.
Oh, doesn't?
So I got a list.
Uh-oh.
This is a sub list from our regular list here. So, take my glasses off. We're going to read from this list. Okay, so let me just say, Bree was originally on the list,
Uh-oh.
and I had to take her off. Something happened. I had to take her off the list. So she's no longer on the list. You're free. You're beautiful. We love you, Bree. But other than that, there's some people on this shit list.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Lay it out. Let's hear it.
Caleb,
Uh-oh.
you just made the list.
What's
Drew
Caleb
Coleman?
done?
Drew Coleman, you just made the list.
Oh.
Bad Take Cade, you just made the list. Bryce Stew Pickle, you just made the list. T Dynamite, the newest member of the AEW roster, you just made the list.
Oh.
I'm starting to think this is just like a random list of people just thinking,
No,
yeah.
people said shit. People said shit.
It's like Nixon's enemies list.
People said shit. You can't just say shit to me.
Let's go really quickly through our things. George Penning is in the house.
Hey,
He
what's
says,
up, Georgie?
"Hey, what's up?" And he goes, "You have a list? Well, put yourself on it. You have sunglasses indoors." Oh,
Well, that's part of my gimmick now.
yeah,
I start every All Left in Wrestling show with the shades on
yeah,
and the leather.
yeah. And the leather. And of course, he says, "Does anyone that's not Canadian piss you off?" And of course, we are joined by Joseph Graham. Says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon to you, good
You know
sir."
who will never be on my list?
Who's that?
Joseph Graham.
God, that hair alone would
No,
expel
but he's
him
just a
from the
sweet
ring.
guy.
He is a great guy. He
He's
is
just
an
a sweet guy.
absolute
I
great
like
guy.
Joe Goldberg.
Hello. I mean, I help you do a show on a Friday.
Well, okay. I love you, Liam. You're never gonna make the list.
Yes.
But I have a friend on the show that you know,
Do I?
Sir Quacks-a-Lot. Do you
Oh
have
no.
anything you want to say to Liam? Because I know you like to talk to ducks. Talking to ducks is your thing. Anything you want to say?
Nothing.
No, just say hi at least. He's come up this far
Hi.
enough to say hi to the duck, right?
Hi, Duck.
Yeah, there we go.
I've literally just like 5 minutes in and we're already talking to ducks.
We're talking to ducks.
It didn't take long.
Y'all
It did not take long. All right, let's get to our whole rigmarole. Let's go with the first up, and that is, of course, our news. From the four corners of the globe, from our studios to your home, this is FNN, the FN News Network, starring Canada Dry and the JFB. All right. Before we get to the news, we have to get to our fact of the day. So shotgun that freaking coffee and give
All
us
right.
the...
I think Sophia made this, so I'm not sure if it's going to be as good.
Nah, probably not. Stephanie makes the best coffee by far.
It's
Wait,
not
so-
bad. It's not as good as Stephanie. But
Hang on.
Sophia.
Since when did we give the interns names?
When they're pretty attractive women.
Oh, I must be getting the wrong interns then.
Stephanie used to work at backshaves.com, and she didn't want to do it no more, so we kind of brought her in.
Yeah, we poached her. We poached her from backshaves.com.
So let me have another sip because I think I have two facts today.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. There it is. There's the knowledge poured in. All right. Did you know that 38 years ago today,
Mm-hmm.
Bret Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart tag team together for the first time?
I did not know it was 38 years, but holy crap. We're old.
Okay,
Dude.
hold on. There's the other one.
Oh.
22 years ago today, Vince McMahon bought WCW, and Shane McMahon was on the show to announce it.
Yes.
Wow.
I bought WCW. Pennies on the dollar, yeah.
Pretty much.
Since when did this show become an impression show?
That's our next show.
We're known for impressions.
No, I'm not.
Let's get to the news.
You're not, but we are.
Yeah, we
Okay.
are. Yeah, Macho Man. Hell yeah. Josh Alexander has major injury. He is going to relinquish the Impact title, which means that is going to be Kushida versus Macklin, with the winner taking the Impact title. Canada Dry, your thoughts on Josh Alexander and these two guys fighting it out?
It always sucks to lose your title to an injury.
Yeah.
I'm sure the guys want to do the job properly when they hand over that title. They want to put over someone, right?
Yeah.
So you want to like pass it like a mantle to someone else. You don't want to do it because you're injured. It's always a sucky way to lose the title.
Oh, absolutely.
So my feelings to Josh Alexander. We were talking on Wrestling with the Paranormal.
Yeah.
Liam and I. We both think that Josh Alexander could be an AEW very soon. He seems like an AEW wrestler.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. That guy is born and bred to be on AEW. That's how good that kid is. He's not even a kid. That man is just amazing. Liam, your thoughts really quick.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to see a wrestler injured, but the match, obviously, Kushida versus Macklin. Kushida, I understand, but Macklin, I'm not a really big fan. I mean, we said it on the Magic of Wrestling yesterday. Somebody like Speedball Mike Bailey, do you know what I mean? I think that'd be an interesting match versus Kushida. Yeah. But, I mean, I wish nothing but the best with Alexander. Do you know what I mean? Rest up well, and he's going to be a huge loss.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he was one of the nothing against Impact. Impact puts on an amazing show, but he is the main event. He's the main draw. He's the reason why I watch Impact, or at least try to watch as much Impact as possible. He is on another level beyond
He
everybody.
makes an impact.
He makes an impact. Somehow the WWE roster from 06 and 07 salaries were released. Here is some of the ones that kind of stuck out really quickly. John Cena, $1.75 million, first class flight tickets, hotel accommodations, and ground transportation paid for every week. Jerry the King Lawler, who really wasn't wrestling, made $204,000, first class plane tickets, hotel accommodations, you name it, he got it. Kurt Angle got $1.23 million. The one that really stood out the most was Triple H. Now, he's married at this point. He is officially part of the McMahon family. That guy made $2.1 million. He was allowed the personal use of the company jet 10 times per year, first class flight tickets, hotel accommodations, and ground transportation paid for every week.
Okay, so let me just say, we don't know where this came from.
Correct.
So I posted this to our Twitter.
Yep.
And Rob Van Dam comments.
Rob Van Dam commented.
Yep.
Rob Van Dam commented on our Twitter. And he's pretty much saying, this isn't even close to true. And he's curious how the people come up with these numbers. Do they get lied to, or they just make it up?
Yeah, I've actually got the tweet here in front of me. So it says, whenever I read about my pay, it always so far off, not even close, like this one. I'm glad that they still secrets, but I always wonder if they just make shit up and write it, or if it's someone lied to them. That's exactly what he actually said. So, but
And Taz liked that tweet as well.
Oh, heck yeah. Taz is awesome. So Alexa Bliss actually is not doing anything other than taking care of cancer. She reveals that she's been going for treatment for skin cancer. And that's the reason why she's been off WWE TV. We wish her the best. She was on the Masked Singer this week. So it's good to see her still kind of in the picture when she's not in the picture. It sucks that she's not going to be there for WrestleMania. For those who are wondering about grudges, Ric Flair and Arn Anderson have had a major grudge over the years. Flair announced that him and Arn are finally talking after years of not speaking. That really sucks. I mean, that's like me and Cam the Dry not talking. Like, those two guys were like brothers, and it sucks that they separated. It's good that they're back together. I'm proud of it. We got some CM Punk news. Rey Mysterio put on a Instagram post about finally taking on his son Dominic at WrestleMania. CM Punk decided to comment, "I've wanted to slap that kid in the face for 13 years."
I love that so much. It's so funny.
Oh God, you gotta love it.
Can we talk really quickly about Dutch Mantel and Ric Flair's feud?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So Dutch Mantel, he's posting that Ric Flair owed the Ring of Honor, I don't remember his name, Ring of Honor owner, former owner, like $20,000. Yes.
Yeah.
So he booked Ric Flair, paid him the money up front, and Ric Flair never showed up to Ring of Honor ever.
Yeah. Exactly.
And never paid him a dime back. He pretty much stole from this man.
He did. He straight up heisted that money. Yeah, him
So
and Dutch.
the funny thing is that so Dutch Mantel posts this, and Rick Flair, Rick Martel, what the hell? Elegance by Rick Martel. But Ric Flair goes after him for speaking the truth.
Yeah.
Like, just downgrades him to like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So this goes to something. Do not speak the truth to Ric Flair. He will humiliate you.
No, he'll totally deny it. He'll deny it until it's believable. Speaking of Punk, Punk calls out Meltzer and Jericho over the brawl at All Out, or as we like to call it, Brawl Out. He says that
as well as Moxley.
yeah. He also says that he does not have beef with Kenny Omega that it was someone else and not Kenny Omega. So Punk trying to stay in the zeitgeist. Does this mean Punk's coming back sooner than later?
Well, we're wondering if this is a work or not.
Yeah.
Because we also had that Shawn Michaels post the next night.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Like he's just keeps putting stuff out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I would love Punk to come back and make lots of money out of this.
Yeah.
What do you think, Liam?
I mean, the way we look at it, I mean, Punk's still a big draw. I mean, he's still a big name. It's just the problem. Obviously, JP commented on the show yesterday. It's, you know what Punk's like. He's very vocal. He's outspoken. And is he going to upset the locker room backstage? I mean, who knows?
I mean, I think maybe Tony Khan brings him in to kind of ruffle the feathers, you know. I mean, it could either be the most amazing thing that ever happens, or it's going to explode in Tony Khan's face.
Well, it's not like everyone in the locker room hates him. There's a lot in there who love him as well.
Yeah, FTR. There you go, FTR.
Well, a lot of the women love him.
Yeah. Well, all the ladies love CM Punk. I mean, come on, you CM Punk.
He's buying the freaking Timmy's cards, whatever. Not Timmy's. You're not gonna name him.
WWE apparently is not happy with poor crowd reactions at the NXT shows when they're taping for NXT. They have asked the wrestlers to bring their family and friends that live in the Florida area to come to the shows so they can get better crowd reactions. Maybe the key to getting a better crowd reaction is getting better matches.
Just maybe. I knew where you were going with that one.
I think the product needs to change overall. I mean, I've watched the NXT product and I feel like the stage they're in, it's really, really poor. So I feel like there needs to be some big changes if they want to get to the next level.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like level up.
So Naomi, better known as Trinity Fatu, better known as Naomi, is officially done with the WWE. She was on Twitter and answered a fan's question when the fan asked if she's part of WWE. She said nope. And she has trademarked the name Trinity Star. So do we see?
A great name. That's a great name.
That's a great freaking name for that's a great gimmick name right there. She coming to AEW with Sasha Banks, maybe?
I'd like them to come separately.
Yeah.
Spread it out.
Yeah. What do you think, Liam?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him come to AEW. I feel like do part of the Outcast storyline. I feel like it'd be really interesting to get a bit more up there.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Trinity would fit perfect in the Outcasts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. Cora Jade, if you've been wondering why you haven't seen her since January, she is out with a undisclosed injury. So we want to wish Cora Jade the best of luck.
You know what they could do? They could hire Sky Blue to play her while she's out.
They look alike. I mean, it's not.
Nice.
It is very similar. Very similar. Just Graham says Ric Flair has shown his true colors these last couple of years. You ain't kidding. So Joseph Graham also says, come on, Chick Magnet Punk. I mean, that's apparently one of what CM stands for is Chick Magnet. So,
he's giving the girls the Starbucks card, he's treating them right. That's how you do it.
Heck yeah. George Penning says, honestly, NXT women's division keeps me entertained more overall. I'll agree with that. The women's NXT is freaking on fire right now. Even with some of the bigger stars with injuries, they're killing it. Roxanne Perez, I'm telling you, 21 years old, that girl is on another level, and I can't wait to see.
Oh, nada level.
Yeah, she's like Bada.
My Key and Peele that whole nada level.
Another level.
So for those who are wondering why we have not seen or been graced with the appearance of Miro, apparently, according to Dave Meltzer, Miro refused to lose at a battle royale, hence why he hasn't been on TV. Canada Dry, your thoughts on this?
I don't know how much I buy into this. If I was Miro, I'd be pissed that this is what they're saying.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be livid.
Unless it's true, because then you'd be like, well, how did they find this out?
Yeah. People talk.
But, yeah. I don't if this is true, I wonder if it's how do you like get Miro back from that?
I don't think you do. I think that bridge has been burned. I think he's just going to wait out his contract and then jump ship to somewhere, or he's going to end up at Ring of Honor. You know.
But how many
Oh,
years has he
imagine
got left?
Miro as Ring of Honor champion.
Oh, he'd be amazing as a Ring of Honor champion. Joseph Graham says, I saw Miro just did a voice acting for a show on HBO Max. That is true. You know, his obligations are done. Now he's ready to wrestle, you know. So Liam, what are your thoughts?
I mean, the problem is with Miro, I think I read that he's still got 3 years left on his contract. So you're going to have to do something or release him. I mean, we don't actually know. But,
Yeah.
I mean, when stuff comes from Dave Meltzer, we've said this many a times, we have to take it with a pinch of salt because you never know.
Yep.
Because how many times has he been called out saying these facts are not right? It's frustrating because I actually like Miro as a wrestler, but when stuff like this comes out, you think, is it actually true? Because this is not the first time, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about AEW really quickly. Jake the Snake Roberts on his podcast, The Snake Pit, talked about his current health issues and said that AEW took care of him when no one else would. And that is a huge thing because you can say what you want about Tony Khan, good or bad. That man realizes the importance of guys like Jake the Snake, the guys like Jericho, guys who have been around, solid veterans, putting them in positions to help these young kids excel. You know, Canada Dry, what are your thoughts on what Jake said?
He is a mark, right? So you get a guy like Jake the Snake, you get a guy like Sting.
Yeah.
And Tony Khan is just like, just like so he's just gonna like treat them good because they're the guys he grew up watching. So
yeah,
I just think it's awesome that we get guys like Sting, we get guys like Jake the Snake. We definitely need more of them in AEW.
Absolutely. Liam, what are your thoughts?
Double dipping.
Yeah.
He's got WWE. He's in the video game there. He's in AEW being a manager. He's got some good he's got it going on.
Yeah. Liam, your thoughts?
I think it's great that when you hear like legends like Sting going saying that this is a new company, which is still 3 years old, remember, going out of his way, you know, for people who's been around, who've seen it. I mean, Sting's been in WCW. We can go into a whole debate about that. But to come to AEW and to know that Tony Khan does go out of his way, it's great to see. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's good. I mean, you know, if you're going to give a good guy award to a guy who runs a promotion, Tony Khan's probably going to win it every single time.
Can you put George's comment?
George's comment, yeah. Let me see. George says, whether people believe it or not, Tony Khan cares for the business probably more than most. I agree. I think your difference between Vince and Triple H and Tony Khan is Vince and Triple H realize it's a business and they're there to make money for shareholders and all that other jazz and rigmarole. Tony Khan knows that it's a money game as well and it's a business, but here's a guy who loves professional wrestling. Yeah. And I don't know of any person business side that sees it as entertainment first and let's make money second. You know, like the money is going to come. He does a great job at putting together something that people love. And that's AEW.
Well, it's kind of like what we do here.
Yeah.
We have fun first and then any successes we have is gravy.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. All right, so that is our news for the week. Let's get to our joke of the week. It's going to be from our man Kush. Here is joke of the week.
What do you call a show that has wrestlers with males like Bobby Lashley, Dark Order's John Silver, Blackpool Combat Club Claudio Castagnoli, Moose, and Goldberg, along with females like Alexa Bliss, Jamie Hayter, Willow Nightingale, Killer Kelly, and Natalia Markova? The Bald and the Beautiful.
Oh, dear.
That was brilliant. Oh my God. That was Kush, man.
The
Bald
bald, the
and
beautiful.
beautiful. If you want to do a joke of the week, send your joke to either Canada Dry, the JFB, anybody that's involved with F1 Wrestling. We will get your joke on the air. And our joke of the week is brought to you by Backshaves.com. Backshaves.com. They are our biggest sponsor. We love Backshaves.com. I went up from the cheapskate.
Oh, you're there now.
Top tier. Yeah. I got
Who,
to the
who
top
came
tier.
to buy you?
Her name is Amelia, and she's British. And my back is, you could like slip and slide right off of it. It's
Did she say smelled like butter?
No, she said, "Jolly good time. Your shave is complete." And then she gave me a pat on the butt.
I'm not saying a word.
All right, let's get to our main event.
Gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Oh, do we have a main event for you? And being inspired by, of course, the second greatest Canadian wrestler of all time, Mr. Chris Jericho, we have presented to go ahead and do what he liked to do in his later years in WWE, and that is this.
You know what? You just made the list. Oh, no. Oh, here we go.
You just made the list. That is right. You just made the list. So here are the rules. Each person gets 5, but one of them has to be pop culture at least. And so we flipped coins. We did bingo, the bingo numbers and letters.
Bingo,
Canada Dry,
bango,
you're gonna-
bongo.
yeah, bingo, bango, bongo. And Canada Dry, you came out first. You're out of the chute. Who are you going with?
So for my first person on the list,
Yeah,
I'm going Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. Oof.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Now, to me, this guy, he's such a dirtbag. He becomes famous on YouTube. Has all these ventures that are just crooked, and he's just unethical.
Yeah.
And he kind of teaches people that it doesn't matter what you do as long as you're successful.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of people that we don't like. So Logan Paul, you just made the list.
Damn.
Play that again. Put him on the list. Play it.
All right, I'm gonna put him on the list. Hold on.
You know what? You just made the list. Oh, no. Oh, here we go.
Oh no.
I love the oh no.
I you know what? It's funny. I see Logan Paul as a tourist. You know, like you're gonna go to Rome, and all of a sudden you start wearing like Italian flag colors, and you know you're on a Vespa and you're drinking cappuccino or espresso, and then you know you engulf yourself into this world, and then you're gone. You disappear. You go back home. So, he's a tourist in wrestling. I mean, can that guy do some amazing stuff? Absolutely. That
It just makes him on the list even more because I hate that.
yes, exactly. I mean, the Royal Rumble with him and Ricochet kind of just collided in the middle.
That
of
was
the
a cool
couple.
moment, but it still pisses me off.
Yeah, it still pisses me off. Liam, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if you know the actual backstory when it comes to Logan Paul, the guy is actually a scumbag. I mean, I will be honest, but when it comes to obviously wrestling, and I hate to admit this, the guy can wrestle. Do you know what I mean? He put on a great match with Roman Reigns. We might not want to admit that, but yeah, I can see why he makes the list. Obviously, more so the backstory.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. George Penning says, I will give WWE one thing about Logan Paul. Whoever decided to bring him back as a heel should get a raise.
The person who made him a face to begin with should be fired.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad we're in the agreements together. Liam, what is your first one?
So obviously, I've got a range of stuff on my list, obviously promos and stuff. So I'm going to go with my person in wrestling, and it's Dixie Carter. Now,
Oh,
here's the reason why: is for me, Dixie Carter signifies how not to run a wrestling company. I mean, Angelina Love went on record and said that she was the main reason why she lost the deal with Spike. There's a great video on YouTube. I recommend it called Carter Clangers, which is really interesting. But yeah, I mean, what can we say about Dixie Carter? I mean,
yeah.
You got to say it. You got to say it, Liam. You got to say you just made the list.
Dixie Carter, you just made the list.
You know what? You just made the list. Oh, no.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no. You know what? One day I'm going to sit down with you guys on a live stream and talk to you about my experiences with Dean Whitehouse, who was the CFO of TNA Impact, and Dixie Carter, because it's just balls out, the most lunatic thing in the world. That woman should never, ever have run. And the fact that her husband financed everything tells you the world about what you're dealing with Dixie Carter. Canada, your thoughts on Liam's pick?
Well, yeah, Dixie Carter is like this rich woman, married to a rich guy, and decides she wants this. I want this. And it could be like those women. I want to run a store. I want to do this, and then the husband just finances it.
Yeah.
To me, this is everything wrong with America. To have a Dixie Carter just come in, screw Jeff Jarrett out of everything, and take over the company. And she deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely. George Penning says Dixie Carter did ruin TNA for everyone, especially with bringing in Hogan in and trying to ruin another good promotion. I mean, Dixie Carter is just, I wish I would have put her on my list.
Your to-do list.
My to-do list.
You're trying to have sex with Dixie Carter.
All right, my first one is going to be this. Why in the world are championship belt shots way more damaging and powerful than any other weapon that you could get your hands on? So, for instance, I've seen guys take chair shot after chair shot after chair shot, but the one that puts them down into the ground is the belt shot. It doesn't make sense. Chairs, tables, barbed wire, you think that those would be a lot more damaging. Exploding rings, no. Belt shot, you might as well start seeing birds because they're just circling around your head. So that is my number one. Belt shots, you just made the list.
You know what? You just made the list. Oh, no.
Here we go.
Canada Dry, what are your thoughts on my first one?
Oh, I'm shocked that this is making the list for you.
Yeah.
But you're right. A championship belt, I guess just aesthetically, it just looks nicer than a chair.
Yeah.
Just this, this is your belt, and I'm whacking you with it.
Yeah.
Or this is my belt, and I'm whacking you with it. It's just aesthetically more pleasing to get whacked with a belt than a chair.
Yeah, they'll do a pile driver on concrete that won't cut them open, but they take one belt shot and it's all of a sudden it's gushing blood. So, Liam, what are your thoughts?
This is one of those things where I've never actually thought about until you've just pointed it out. So this is kind of funny, but yeah, I kind of agree with kind of Dry says. It probably looks better, on camera. I mean, but wow, this is rather surprising. I've never thought about it until you pointed that out.
Agrees with you.
Yeah.
The duck agrees. George Payne says, heck, you can survive a bullet, but as soon as they bring the belt shot out, you're as good as gone. He's right. He literally is right.
You do this Matrix move where you're like, and then you get hit with the belt.
Joseph Graham says, I'm going to insert an item for the list. Fans chanting, "This is awesome," 30 seconds into a random match.
Oh, absolutely. That'll make honorable mention for sure.
Michael Smith is in the house. He says, hey, guys, stop wearing matching shirts. It's silly. Can I be on the list now?
It looks professional.
It looks professional. We're in our professional uniforms, Mr. Smith. All right, Canada Dry, you go next. What is your number 2?
Do you still have the joke from last week?
The one with Goldberg?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I took it off.
Okay. Goldberg, you should never have ever stepped in the ring. Ever.
Yeah.
You should have retired as a shitty football player when you got cut from the BC Lions.
Yeah.
You should never have ever became a professional wrestler. So Goldberg, you just made the list.
You know what? You just made the list. Oh, no. Oh, here we go.
Let me tell you, Goldberg, he had the look, at least. He had the look of a professional wrestler. Guy's big as crap, bald head, goatee, the tribal tattoo that everybody in the 90s and the early 2000s copied. He looked like a great professional wrestler. That guy could not wrestle out of a wet paper bag. Liam, your thoughts?
What did to Bret Hart?
Exactly. He cost Bret Hart $16 million in 1 second.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I mean, I think Canada Dry's a bit salty because he injured Bret out. That's the first thing. But yeah, I mean, when you think about with Goldberg, the problem is with Goldberg, he couldn't do long matches. Do you know what I mean? They were always short. I mean, I saw probably WrestleMania, which were obviously a longish match. And after so long, you just could tell he wasn't into it. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of agree why he's on the list.
Yeah, absolutely. Joseph Graham says, and by extension, the WCW power plant should be on the list as well.
We got that on your list. We got
that on your list. Goldberg said had the look, but he didn't have much else, in my opinion. Couldn't sell or adapt in other wrestling things. Yeah, that's from George Penning. Yeah, absolutely. Liam, what is your number 2?
So my next one is I'm going to go for a segment which sticks with me for the wrong reasons, and it is WWE Raw, November 16, 2015, which is Charlotte Flair and Paige contract signing. Now, the reason I actually picked this specifically is because I don't know whose idea it was, but there was a comment which Paige, you could tell, wasn't comfortable about making, and for me, it's just really, really uncalled for when it comes to it, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, contract signings as a whole just need to, I mean, like, have we ever had a successful, like, where they don't all out brawl or just something shenanigans happens? Like, it's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Yeah, contract signings as a whole just need to go. But yeah, the one with Paige and with Charlotte Flair was
Becky and Charlotte.
Becky and Charlotte, yeah, was just absolutely horrible. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, WWE overdoes these contract signings.
Yeah.
It's like their default. Well, let's do a contract signing. This will get the fans invested.
Yeah.
AEW's done a few, but not nowhere near as many as WWE.
Yeah.
It seems like we get 5 contract signings a year with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt that this was very unprofessional, Charlotte.
Yeah.
And just like be professional above all else.
Yeah.
Don't stick it to the person.
Yeah,
wasn't that a trade off of belts and they dropped the belt? Isn't that what it was?
No. That's the one where she brought up. That's the one where she brought up her brother.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the one with her and her brother. When she mentioned Charlotte's brother Reed.
Which, if I remember rightly, it wasn't too long before that he obviously passed away.
Yeah. It wasn't that long after. Yeah, and she just mentioned it.
So whichever management actually did that should be ashamed of themselves, because that's just something you never really do, heel or not.
Yep, absolutely. So it's funny because Joseph Graham says, yeah, I don't like mentioning deceased people. Comes off as very disrespectful. George Penning says, please, can we stop contract signings? Why is there a need for a segment on the show? And then, of course, Kush comes in. They had one last night for the triple threat IC title match. Yeah, they did. It was freaking horrible. It's always going to end in a brawl. Like, we get it. So, all right, let's go to my number 2. Mine is like my list is very nitpicking. Like,
It sounds like it.
It is. It's very anal retentive, but here's the thing: super slow ladder climbs. Like I get it if it's like 5 really big guys, like then it makes sense. When you have like Kofi Kingston or Commander or when you have these high flyers and these guys like Top Flight that can get in and get out and move really quickly, there should be no reason why it takes a minute and a half to climb the ladder when everybody is freaking passed out or knocked out on the mat or in the around the ring. Like it doesn't make sense. I want to see fast-paced action. I want to see Wes Lee scramble up a ladder and then somebody has to zip in really quickly and like dive into the ladder to knock him off before he gets it. Like that adds more tension than the it's like droopy. It's like watching Droopy Dog. It's like watching Droopy Dog. Canada Dry, what are your thoughts?
But you got to put it on the list.
Oh, yeah. By the way, slow climbing ladder matches, you're on the list.
That's right. So my thoughts on this are this. You can do the slow climb.
Yeah.
But you have to do it all the way.
Yeah.
Because if you're hurt and you slowly get up and you slowly see the ladder there, then it works because you're playing it all out. Sometimes you get some guy who's moving really fast and then all of a sudden he's climbing the ladder and all of a sudden he goes in slow-mo. So it's about acting.
Yeah.
And acting properly at the proper time.
Yeah, exactly. Liam, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Canada Dry's on point there. I think it does actually boil down to timing. I mean, we don't want to see a slow climb at start of a match. It looks absolutely silly. Now, if it's towards the end of the match, then yeah, it is great, but you've got to do it from start to finish. But no, I kind of agree. I hate slow ones myself, so
yeah.
And I feel sometimes they're doing it just to give that guy time to get out to hurry up.
Joseph Graham says, yes, JFB, my wife yells at them when she watches with me. I have been known to yell and scream at the TV, like, pick up the pace just a little bit. Like, I know you have a fixed amount of time to fit that match in, but you don't have to kill it with freaking, bonkers.
Did you ever play one of those video games where you're trying to climb the cage and you have to hit A like 50 times?
Yes, exactly.
You're like slowly climbing the cage.
Joseph Graham says, also, that is what made the inaugural NXT North American title match so good. They all agreed to climb at a normal pace. Thank freaking God. Of course, Kush says, R-Truth, who hates them because of spiders. I love R-Truth. I miss R-Truth so much. I hope he comes back really soon because I think that's a comical side that actually works. So, all right, Canada Dry, you're next. What is your numero 3?
My numero 3 is Seth frickin' Rollins.
Ooh, Seth Rollins. Do tell.
We got a picture there. We got that idiot. Something about this guy just is very unlikable.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's his laugh, his douchebag rubber shoes, his clown shoes, the fact that the crowd loves him.
Yeah.
Makes me hate him even more. But mostly it was coming out publicly to disrespect CM Punk. Just because I think that, you should just be professional and keep your thoughts to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say this. I don't like the way he dresses. Like, I get it as part of the character. It's part of your gimmick. But sometimes, man, he comes out, he makes Liberace look like just a average guy in the crowd. Like, I don't understand some of these outfits.
But let me just say this. He's a great wrestler. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't like his character, and I don't know him, but I don't seem to like who he is as a person.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his character either. I liked him better as, kind of like a knockoff of the Cerebral Assassin. So Liam, what are your thoughts on Canada Dry's number 3?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Seth Rollins either. I mean, I hate the way he dresses as well. I mean, somebody said that his WrestleMania coat thing was actually from Becky Lynch. I mean, that's a joke I saw. But yeah,
Pull your coat. I'm going out there.
But yeah, I mean, as a wrestler, I mean, we can't deny how good he is, but I'm just not a fan backstage when it comes to Seth.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, I forgot to say it. Seth Rollins, you just made the list.
Yeah. Seth Rollins, you're on the list. Boom. George Penny is curious. Is it because he's from Iowa and isn't in Canada?
Listen, I don't care where you're from. Just don't be a douche.
Yeah, exactly. Joseph Graham says, I want Monday Night Rollins back, the man who went an hour in a gauntlet match. That was really badass. That kudos to
you know what
Seth
should
Rollins.
be on the list is gauntlet matches.
Yeah, I agree. It don't make sense. Liam, what is your number 3?
So I'm going to get my pop culture one out of the way, and it's I'm going for a movie which I'm not a big fan of, but I think it's more who actually plays the main thing. It's The Rock in Tooth Fairy. Now, the thing is, when I think of The Rock, is we see him in obviously The Scorpion King, Jumanji, which I think he plays a great part. But when I think of him playing a Tooth Fairy, I mean, I get it; it's a comedy side, but no, I think like that's the wrong person to play that character. But yeah, Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, let's not forget Hulk Hogan also played a Tooth Fairy as well. Is that not correct?
He played the nanny.
That's right, the nanny. Yeah.
Okay, Liam, put the Rock and the Tooth Fairy on the list.
So, The Rock and the Tooth Fairy, you just made the list.
Oh no.
Oh no.
My number.
It's almost better that we're doing it instead of playing it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So my number 3. So I'm an avid soccer player. I was from the time I was 8 to the time I was in my 30s. I played travel soccer. I also played football in high school, and I've always had a point where I get called for a yellow card or a red card, and I argue with the ref, and the ref doesn't change his mind. In real life, why in the world is wrestling doing that? It drives me up a wall when they were like complaining about a 2 count being too slow. Like you're going to convince the ref in a predetermined match that, oh, you're right, I made a mistake. It was 3. So that is my.
That would be great to have cards in wrestling.
Yeah. I'm just saying. So, 2 counts and arguing with the ref. You just made the list.
Yes. I love it.
Canada Dry, what did you think?
I love this idea. Like giving people cards in like soccer.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. You just get you can give that to Matt, to the people in the ringside too. You know, you got a yellow card here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love this idea. It's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Liam, your thoughts?
So if he gives him a red card, does that mean it's a bit disqualification?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind arguing the ref thing, but I feel like sometimes we see it all too often in matches. So, yeah, I'm not against it, but I feel like we see it a lot. So if we do tone it down in shows, I'm not too fussed with it, to be honest.
Yeah, like if you get frustrated and you're like, you're frustrated at yourself, that's one thing, because that's adding emotion and drama. But when you like immediately like focus in eye to eye with the ref and you're like, what the hell? Like, it's not the ref's fault.
Do you guys remember when Jericho argued with Aubrey at Stadium Stampede and they actually went to look at the monitor?
That is true. That is correct. See?
That was actually really good.
That was great.
Yeah. Alex Haney, who's in the house, says, why does Canada Dry now look like Derek Branning from EastEnders?
This is my Sunday look, okay?
Yeah, it's his new Sunday look. Give it a rest, Alec Haney. I mean, arguing with the ref about a 2 count when you're not predetermined to win, though, from George Penny. Kush goes ahead and says, Rock, Hogan, and now the pictures of Cena and pantyhose in his latest movie is like all wrestlers have to be in tutus and pantyhose to make a film career. Yeah, you're right. I mean, but John Cena, I'll say this, out of all the actors that have, and The Rock's got decent comedic timing, but Cena's got amazing comedic timing. Just watch the movie with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler where they're sisters and they throw a house party. He's a drug dealer. Absolutely hilarious. I've never laughed so hard in my life. So Canada Dry, what is your number 4?
Well, there's this guy who started this wrestling company. He bought it from his dad. He started like multi-million-dollar business. It's like he's like the Walt Disney of wrestling.
Yeah.
Maybe you've heard of him. His name is Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
Ooh.
Yes.
Are you talking about Vinnie Mac?
Yes, Vinnie Mac.
All right, hold on. Let me get it pulled up. You talking about this guy?
He's doing the Bret Hart. What the hell?
I know.
Vince McMahon is on the list for being a scumbag, for being the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling, for not taking care of the safety of Owen Hart and being negligent. Vince McMahon, you just made the list.
Absolutely.
Say it.
Yeah, I'll give his flowers when I'll give him his flowers when he finally moves past the mortal coil. That guy has done amazing things for wrestling, but he has done a lot of detrimental things for wrestling. And one of them is Owen and Owen's death. And I since that day, I've never forgiven Bret Hart. I've never forgiven Vince McMahon. I've never forgiven Bret Hart for the death of his brother. I've never forgiven Vince McMahon, and I never will. He's scum. The way he treats women, everything is just, it reeks. Liam, your thoughts on Vince McMahon?
I mean, we could do a whole episode why Vince McMahon's on this list. Is literally countless things which has obviously come about over the past few years. So to be quite honest, he was actually on my list as well, Vince McMahon. But yeah, absolute scumbag, to be honest.
So you got to pick someone else for the list now.
I've got a few side ones. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's ready. He's locked and loaded. Liam, who is your
list?
Liam, who's on the list?
I'm going to pick a match which many fans don't actually like, and you probably might see why. It is D-Generation X versus Brothers of Destruction, Crown Jewel 2018. Now, a lot of people hate this match. I hate it as well because I feel like it's wrestlers, and I hate the term past their prime. But yeah, I mean, when you look at the match, it's like, did we need this match, to be honest? But yeah. So, Crown Jewel 2018, D-Generation X versus the Brothers of Destruction. You just made the list.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I'll say this. That match was horrible. That match was probably the clunkiest match I think I've ever seen in my entire life. And to kind of expand on it, I don't like it when they give, especially at WrestleMania and some of your bigger shows, where they trot out the living legends and they're like, hey, we want you to have like a match to fill time. And it's like, that's a good time to go pee. It's a good time to go get a snack. It's a good time to change the channel. It's a good time to, talk to your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or husband.
Now, what was it you were asking me?
So what was that about a new kitchen? Okay, yeah, sure. Oh, wait, I can't talk. WrestleMania is back on. So
it's back on. That match is over.
Yeah, that match, yeah. They all got carted off on stretchers. So Canada Dry, your thoughts?
This match picked my butt for one reason.
Yeah.
Is that Shawn Michaels was always adamant that when his match with Undertaker was his last match, and he came back and he kind of marred it a bit.
Yeah.
Like, the match with Undertaker was brilliant. And to come back and show off your bald head in this match, you didn't need to do it. And it was just all for a bunch of money.
Yeah, exactly.
But being in his position, who wouldn't do it? If you're going to get a buttload of money, you're going to say yes. Yeah,
they're going to back up a Brinks truck. You might as well just say yeah and just suck it up and do it. So my number 4 is going to be luchadors, and specifically the unmasking of luchadors. Vince McMahon's infamous for it. Eric Bischoff is infamous for it. There's a story and a heritage, and there's a great book, and I'll put it in the show notes because it's slipping my mind. about the history of luchadors and their masks and their meaning and what they mean to the family and all that stuff. A majority of these guys, their real identity is hidden from the public in Mexico. Nobody knows who they are. So when you bring a luchador to America and they unmask him like Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, Juventud, it just drives me nuts because you're essentially debasing these wrestlers and saying, oh, you know what? You're not good enough with just a mask. We want to see your face. When you're talking about a prime marketing and merchandise opportunity. So unmasking luchadors, you just made the list.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
Yeah, they made a big mistake unmasking Rey Mysterio in WCW.
Yeah.
It was cool for the first little bit. Then you're like, now what?
Yeah, exactly.
And he became less special because of that. And WWE just completely deleted that and said, we got to keep the mask on him.
Yeah.
So props on WWE for that.
Yeah.
I don't think you should. There's a time and a place for unmasking a luchador, and that's based on the guy. If he wants to do it, if he's like, I'm ready to just show a different side of myself, then that's cool. But I don't like it if you're being talked into it or being forced to do it. I don't think that's a good idea.
Exactly. Liam, your thoughts?
I think it's completely disrespectful, do you know what I mean, to the heritage of obviously luchadors. I mean, yeah, everybody remembers the Rey Mysterio, but what does that mean for the future? I mean, we're still talking about it now. I mean, how many years was it before he got masked? Quite a few.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, I absolutely hate it. I mean, if it's in AAA, if it's in sorry, go ahead.
Did Juventud go back to the mask after WCW, or
he did? Yeah, he went back to the mask after WCW. So, but because with the exception when he wrestled on AEW, I don't remember. He didn't wrestle with a mask on when he wrestled Jericho, correct?
No, I think he we had the mask.
Yeah, in WWE he had no mask, and WCW he was unmasked. So
yeah, okay.
I don't know if he did go back to it then.
Yeah, I know he in AAA and CMLL and some of your smaller promotions he's worn the mask in Mexico because I've seen recent matches of his. So
maybe it's just how he feels that day.
Yeah, exactly. George Payne says, but you can't have a luchador without their mask. I totally agree. 100% agree. Well, that's not true because El Hijo del Vikingo doesn't wear a mask. His father did, but he does not wear a mask. So, all right, Captain Canada Dry, it is your turn. You're number 5. Pull it out.
Number 5 comes straight from the list of the patron saint.
Yes,
straight from the list.
I'm ready.
So, once in a while in chat, this comes up. And I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's freaking Power Rangers.
Ooh. Power Rangers, really?
The Power Rangers, the stories are bad. The acting is bad. Everything about Power Rangers to me is bad. I don't know. And I understand when you were a kid, you liked it.
Yeah.
But eventually you grow up and you realize that was shit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So stop liking Power Rangers. You're a freaking adult now. The Power Rangers, you just made the list.
Oh, no. Joseph Graham says, how can you hate them? That was my childhood. And then George Penny says, what? And that's a stone cold what not, just any what. Liam, I'm sure you got something to mention.
Yeah, so Power Rangers obviously is a big part of my childhood, so I'm going to try and be professional here. Let's just do this, right? Okay.
Remember,
so
Ducky's watching.
And there we go. So anyway, yeah, so Power Rangers is a big part of my childhood. I mean, as you grow up, you do realize it is a bit silly, but you could make that exception for quite a few shows. When you watch them as a kid, you think, oh, this is cool. But when you get older, you think, what the hell did I watch that for? Do you know what I mean? But I don't hate the Power Rangers enough to put them on a list. But yeah, looking back now, it can be a bit silly.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
fan of Generation 1 Transformers. Were you a big G1 Transformer guy, JB?
I was, yeah, absolutely.
And the stories still hold up if you watch them today. You can be like,
Yep.
this is freaking entertaining. Like, you can
Yeah.
watch the original Transformers movie and
Yeah.
still like it, add some popcorn, and just get into it.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
you can't do that with Power Rangers.
Yeah, definitely not. Kush says, I literally was talking about this with a coworker a week ago. And Joseph Graham says, at least put the spinoff like VR Troopers on the list. I mean,
Anything is on the list that is Power Rangers related.
yeah, anything involved, the whole scope. I mean, I grew up watching the Power Rangers and I really dug it. It wasn't a huge part of my childhood. I was more into Voltron and anime and stuff like that.
Like in late teens when this came out too.
I was, yeah. But, I also got into the Tick and I got into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff like that, just because those were part of my, I still to this day have the original first run of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in black and white.
Cool. That's
yeah,
cool.
I mean, they're from the Northeast, and the comic book store that I worked at, I got every copy, and it's in pristine condition. It's locked away in a safe in a vault inside a locker in the bottom of the sea.
The bottom of the sea.
Bottom of the sea. But yeah, I mean, you're right, because I recently have gone back to watch, especially after David, what's his name, the Green Ranger, passed away, and it doesn't hold, not nearly as much as it did when it first came out. So, Liam, what is your number 5?
So I was going to go with this one, but while we've been doing the show, but I'm actually going to change it. Now, there's time-honored traditions in WrestleMania, which I've digged for years, and one of them got broken, which still haunts me to this day, and I'm sure you know what I'm on about. It's breaking the Undertaker's streak.
Yeah.
I absolutely hated that. I felt like that was part of WrestleMania, and now I've kind of lost interest when it comes to WrestleMania, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. So who made the list?
That's it. Put it on the list.
Breaking the Undertaker's streak. You just made the list.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I agree with you. It sucked. He should have gone into retirement undefeated at WrestleMania, because which always threw me for a loop, because Shawn Michaels is called Mr. WrestleMania, but he didn't have a WrestleMania streak like The Undertaker. Why wasn't The Undertaker Mr. WrestleMania? Well, Vince McMahon, you big goo. Cannon Dry, your thoughts?
Well, here's my thing. I'm okay with The Undertaker streak coming to an end.
Yeah.
But not then.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Brock Lesnar needed it.
Yeah. No, he didn't.
He didn't. He would have still been big. Undertaker beating him would have been so great.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked his last match to be where he lost.
Yeah.
And that was his last match was who was his last match to that he lost? Was that Goldberg?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Goldberg or Roman, one of the two. Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree.
I think.
Huh?
It would have been Roman Reigns was his last WrestleMania match.
Yeah, Roman Reigns was his last WrestleMania match. So
he beat Cena, but that was impromptu.
Yeah. We'll go to my number 3, or my number 5, my last one. And it is my pop culture one. And I flip-flop between this, but because I could have gone with the evil dictator known as Donald Trump, but I'm actually going to go with Kevin Feige. And here's the reason why. The last few Marvel movies were horrendous. Nobody wants to see Ant-Man in the microverse with 52 different new characters you're introducing. The Eternals, Black Panther Wakanda Forever was fantastic, but Ant-Man sucked. They are going on a huge downslope. Everybody wants to see Iron Man. Everybody wants to see freaking Captain America. They don't want to see, they want to see Spider-Man. They don't want to see Ant-Man. They don't want to see, they don't want to see that stuff. Your movies are horrible now. Like, you're not breaking any barriers like you did when the first few Avenger movies came out and your first Captain America and stuff like that. So, Kevin Feige, you just made the list.
Oh no!
Oh no, Canada Dry, your thoughts really quickly on Kevin
I
Feige.
like that you put this guy on the list. I didn't even know who he was, but
Yeah.
after hearing your speech, he deserves to be on the list.
He
I
does.
feel like the Marvel movies, they did a lot of B and C characters.
Yeah.
Now, like, I feel like DC needs to do this a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because their B characters are Marvel's A characters.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like DC could afford to do this a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. No one wants to see. Okay, aside from Black Panther, he's not really even an A character.
Yeah.
He
Exactly.
is big because he's Black culture.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I thought the movie was good. I thought it was a well-told story, but he is a B character.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Iron Man was never an A-level character. They took a character that was kind of like in obscurity during his comic book run and gave him the forefront. Spider-Man, obviously, the X-Men, they were all A, but like Iron Man, Thor, these guys were not selling millions of copies.
Yeah, but the fact they're in the Avengers all together, you kind of elevate them all, right?
Exactly. Liam, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I will be honest, I'm not actually a big Marvel fan, so he can be on this list for all I care. I've always preferred DC, but yeah, I mean, I've seen snippets of the last few movies, and they are pretty trash.
Yeah.
I like a few of the movies, obviously the X-Men ones, the Spider-Man, the Thor, but yeah, I mean, I'm not against this, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, that's our list. We have just made the list our bitch, because that's what we do. We knock it out of the park each and every week. So
you know what? We're gonna have to do this every once in a while. We're gonna have to do the list.
I like the list. We should do this like the round table. Do it about once a month.
Yeah, we can do this. I like it. We can. You know what it is? We were so damn positive. We need to be negative once in a while.
We definitely do. So what's on tap for next week? Obviously, we got Wednesday Night Dynamite, which we can't really talk about because we don't know what's going to happen. But what comes off after that?
Oh, we got a really cool episode of Wrestling with the Paranormal. As always, me and Liam like to laugh our asses off on that show.
Yes, we do.
And
Will
will be on the show, I guarantee it. And also, what do you got on Saturday on the Magic Wrestling, Liam?
So we're going to do a throwback to the top 15 UK wrestlers, which is an episode we did, if you remember, way back when we first started. So I've got an amazing guest on who obviously was part of the 1PW show. So we're going to have a nice debate, see who makes it to number one. I mean, I've got mine, but who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. And then what do we have on Sunday?
And next Sunday, we have Adrian Adonis episode. We have the author of Flowers for Adrian. He wrote this book, and he's got all sorts of cool stories that he researched of Adrian Adonis. So we're looking forward to this. I got some other stuff in the pipeline, and I'll tell you later, JFB.
Okay, I'm excited. Yeah, I downloaded the book last night. I'm going to start reading it today. I'll have it finished by the time we showcase on Sunday, so we can ask them all kinds of really great questions. I read the first 10 pages, very intriguing, and it really encapsulates a life of a wrestler that I think deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And if you want to support all that stuff, of course, you can go to prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling, where you can get all these amazing shirts, like the All Effing Wrestling shirt Natalia Markova wears. Makes it way better looking than the three of us. Of course, you can get the middle fingers. If you want to do Adrian Adonis, you can go to prowrestlingtees.com/Adrian Adonis, where you can get the adorable Adrian Adonis among other types of tees. I have 2 or 3 of them. This is one that I'm going to be ordering sooner than later. If you want to get in touch with us and you know that you want to join AFW, you want to find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you don't stop. only way to do it. There's two. You can go to Pro Wrestling Tees. Let's try that one more time. You can go to youtube.com/effing wrestling, where you can click like and subscribe and be in the know of when we go live for all our podcasts.
Social media is actually below in the description.
Yeah, it's below in the description. If you want to join AFW, the easiest way to do is to go to our new website, effingwrestling.com, where you can scroll to the very bottom. All our social media links are there. One sends you to AFW. We are the number one prediction league, according to Prediction League Monthly. We are 4 months in a row that we have been ranked number one. Everybody else, very distant too. We are number one for a reason. So, on behalf of Canada Dry and Liam Wakeland, I am the JFB.
And you just made the list. Just keep fighting.
Ding, ding, ding. Hit it. This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.